Let us now talk about networking. Networking active. What are the questions that are to be asked when talking about networking active? That is the switches, routers. So now first important thing to ask about is the make that the customer is already using. If you can just generally ask him, sir, what is the make of the equipment that you're already using? This will give you an idea as to what is the budget and what type of equipment the customer normally uses. If he's using D-Link, then he may prefer a value for money brand like D-Link. If he's already using Cisco, then we can pitch a good brand like Cisco. Then again, you should ask about what are the problems that he is facing in his current network. Okay, the problems can be of many types. For instance, that he may say that their network the speed is very low. Users always complain that the speed is very low. Then also there may be frequent stoppages of the network or the network may get choked. Okay. Then there may be security concern that everyone on the network is able to access everything. Okay, which is also not good. So this will help us to design a solution that solves these problems. Okay, there is no point creating a new network and that also is facing the same problems and help us to add value in the solution when you know what the problems are. The other thing is that you should also again get an idea about how many ports are there and what type of equipment that he's using, what type of services he's using, whether he is using, voice also like IP telephony, whether he is using IP based surveillance system or he intends to use, whether there is Wi-Fi also in the office, are they using any Wi-Fi or is their IP network also being used for any other purposes, some kind of ERP software. So that is also important for us when we are designing a network or giving a solution. Then of course, again the solution will also the bandwidth will also change. Like what kind of bandwidth is required will also depend on what type of services is he running. Is he only using it for computers, that is a data network, or is he also using for some kind of a ERP system, that he's got some kind of SAP or Oracle based ERP. Either they're using some kind of CAD CAM software where heavy files are being uploaded or downloaded to the server or to the internet. So that is very important to ask so that we can design a proper solution. Then the other thing again is that whether what kind of network layout they have. Is it like they have multiple floors or many buildings that need to be connected? This will determine whether we will be giving a simple network or we will be giving a tiered network. Okay, so in case the number of users is large, like more than 100 users, or if the again the buildings are distributed or the users are distributed over a large area, then we may give a tiered network. In a tiered network, there is a separate core, that is the main switches that are connecting to the servers, to the internet, to the firewall and other important equipment. Then there is a distribution switch which is placed in the different areas of the building, like on different floors there is one distribution switch, or in an area there is a distribution switch. And for the end customer we may have another set of switches that are connected into the rooms. Okay, so there is a core layer, there is a distribution layer, then there is the access layer. So how many tiers will be there in the network will depend on the size of the network, on the number of users. Okay, so get an idea as to what is the size of the network we are looking at. Again, another thing, important thing is that what is the distance between different types of equipment. Okay, so if the floors are separated by 200 300 meters, or two buildings are there, or there is a big distance between them, like especially in case of universities or large campuses, so we may need to use fiber. And if we need to use fiber, then the switches or the equipment that you provide, they should have fiber modules and connectivity for fiber. Okay, and moving forward, so another same question is that key redundancy. What type of operation are they running? Are you speaking to a bank or to an online business? For them, networks are very important, should not go down at any time. So in this case, we may have to build in redundancy by providing them two switches or switches with multiple engines, so multiple power supplies. So in case anything goes wrong, that the network is not switched off. We may also design the routes and the topography of the network accordingly. So instead of just connecting two switches with one cable, we may be connecting them with two cables. So in case one cable is cut, even then the switches will keep running. So you must ask the customer that what kind of redundancy they require. Okay, I have also mentioned earlier that they may require redundancy for simple networks only and the internet. Like they may need two internet connections so that if one goes down, the other one keeps running. Okay, so you need to ask all these questions. Then again, you may also need to understand that if they will be running, equipment like IP phones or CCTV cameras or wireless, then we may need to provide power over Ethernet switches, that is PoE switches, for these type of equipments. Again, the important thing is internet, that is WAN, wide area network, or internet as you may call. So how many links do they have? Do they have only internet, or do they have any kind of VPN connectivity to different branches or factories or other locations? Okay, so you must get the number and type of external links they have. So accordingly, we can propose the type of equipment or connectivity that is required for the same. Then again, also it is very important to ask then what kind of concern that they may have with regards to security. How important is security for the particular company or this particular user? Okay, and then accordingly, what kind of security measures have they already implemented? Okay, you can ask them if they already have a firewall. Do they already have more advanced security measures like Active Directory for controlling that what content users can access, whether they have some kind of a shared storage for sharing files between the users, whether they have some kind of a more advanced system like a DLP. DLP is like data leakage prevention system. So it monitors what information is being exchanged between the users. They cannot email any sensitive information outside the company. Then again, you must specifically ask regarding the firewall or unified threat management gateway. Okay, that how many users they have, what kind of security measures they would like to implement. So it can be a simple firewall that prevents outside users from trying to hack into the network, or it may have advanced features like gateway antivirus, which prevents from the users to access any site that is already infected by virus and make their computers also infected by virus. So the UTM or firewall having antivirus gateway or gateway antivirus will not allow users to access any infected pages on the internet. Okay, they will still need antivirus on their laptops or desktops, but still they will not be able to access any infected pages. Similarly, any kind of anti-spam that they need, so that whatever email is coming, the spam messages will be filtered out. Okay, another very important aspect is content filter. Okay, the companies may not want their employees to go on to certain types of sites like pornographic sites or matrimonial sites or any other kind of a trading site which will waste the time of the employees. So they may want to enforce some type of content filtering. So, and again, it may be at different levels. They may allow certain people like senior managers to allow content, all types of contents, and they may want to restrict for other users. So this is also very important to ask that what type of firewall or UTM they have in place or they want to purchase. Then moving on to the next question, this is again like this is marked in red because this is a value added question. So if you ask this question to the end user, then you will appear to be more knowledgeable and professional in your field or expert in your field. Okay, so in case of larger network, more than 100 users, it is important to separate different groups of users. Okay, you do not want that the users from say marketing, sales or engineering to be able to access the computers of HR department, which may have sensitive information on them regarding employee salaries and other critical things. Similarly, you may not want that users from say again projects or sales department being able to access the computers of accounts department, or users of admin trying to access the computers of accounts department. Similarly, again, if all the users have access to all the computers, so even if one computer becomes infected by the virus, then it will try and infect all the other users in the network if it has access. Okay, so using VLANs, that is virtual LANs, we can create different groups of users having access only to computers within their networks and also to certain common computers like servers or gateway level devices for the internet. or printers, but they will not have access to each other's computers. So this provides security by providing access only to users that are supposed to access the computers in that particular department. And secondly, it also prevents any hacker or any virus from getting access to all the computers at once. So this also makes the network very fast because the communication from one department stays within that department only, and the broadcast or the network noise does not travel to the entire company. So if the user does not have logical VLAN separation, then we can create it for him. And for this, we require manageable switches or layer 3 switches. Similarly, another thing is QoS. QoS is quality of service. For certain services like video conferencing, we need to ensure that the bandwidth is provided to these services on priority. So when you are running a video conference and some other user starts to upload a big file or download something using a torrent, then the video conferencing will be interrupted. It will be choppy and the sound will be bad, and the management will be pissed off that we are not able to do the video conference properly. For such services, by enabling QoS, we can provide priority over other services that may not be so important. Okay, so this is also a red question. If you ask this, then we can also program this into the equipment and provide equipment which supports QoS. Again, you may also ask about the configuration, the support that they require, the period of support that they require. Mostly the equipment that we are buying from companies like Cisco, there is an option of buying a support pack for a certain period of time. Okay, the customer may want to buy a support pack for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and there are also different options with respect to failure, that there are certain services where they may provide support on the next business day. Okay, and they may have a resolution time of 48 hours. At the same time, they may have support for 24 into 7 and within 4 hours. Okay, so then depending on the type of pack they opt for, they will get those services on that fast, and they may get replacement fast. So we can ask them what type of support they require. So this is the mostly the main question that you should ask about the active part of the network. Yeah, then we will just discuss the other parts very quickly.